Had I known that he was going to have to stand here with me while I did this would have gone completely differently. I was originally told to stick to the script, and I will do that for the most part. For those of you that know me or Mr. Hemingway, we don't do that real well. But I do want to read this just to make sure I capture some of his accomplishments. Henry Edsel Hemingway Jr., so for those of you that didn't know that Edsel was spelled, Henry Edsel Hemingway Jr. is a native of the town of Andrews in western Georgetown County. He has served as Georgetown County Administrator since 2008 and was Georgetown County Council Chairman for 8 years prior to that. He served a total of 11 years on council, following in his father's footsteps. Let me pause real quick. So once you retire, it will be how many years without a Hemingway on staff or on council? 47? 57. 57. Let that sink in. He and his wife Kathy have 4 children, all here with us tonight, and 4 grandchildren, none of which are here with us tonight, so we'll have our dinner. 4 children, 14. You need to sit closer. Okay. All right. 14 grandchildren, and continue to reside in Hemingway. Hemingway is the oldest of 5 children of Edsel and the late Anne Rem Hemingway of Hemingway. Graduate of Clemson University. He only needed to go to one school to get it right, so good job. I keep going off script. Yeah, that's bad. So he's a graduate of Clemson University and is a licensed CPA. He managed his family's Ford dealership until 2008, when he resigned to become the county administrator in Georgetown. He is also involved in a number of civic activities in addition to his time as on county council. He served 2 terms as the president of Andrews Rotary Club, was the chairman of Georgetown County United Way campaign, chairman of the Georgetown County Economic Development Commission, president for the Andrews Industrial Development Corps. He is a member of Trinity United Methodist Church, where he teaches Sunday school and serves as a certified lay speaker. He certainly enjoys all outdoor activities, including hunting, fishing, camping, and golf. Yeah, I'm not saying we don't enjoy golf. He regularly attends Clemson football games and basketball games with his family, especially his grandsons. He's looking forward to enjoying more time with these activities upon his retirement next year. He also enjoys portraying the character Forrest Gump in a manner that elicits laughter and tears and profound thought for his audience. He may do that for you tonight if you all cheer very loudly. He's prone to do a number of impressions, and you never know when those are going to come out. So that's what's on here. So that's what's on here. I look around the room tonight, and there are a lot of people that we work with on a regular basis. Many of us have spent a lot of time in the EOC over the last 6 years, mainly against our will. But I've been able to see true leadership. In a very profound way. It has had a meaningful impression on me. And I certainly appreciate that. One of the other things that many of you don't get to see, apparently I'm still on probation because I'm the only director that actually has to reside in the same office as Mr. Hemingway. I'm still waiting for my own office. But it allows me to see how he interacts with our employees, with our staff, with the residents mainly. And it never ceases to amaze me how he will go out of his way to address a resident concern, a citizen issue, when he could very easily pass that off to any number of other different people. And I think that exemplifies his leadership style. I certainly have taken that with me, will continue to take that with me. And I'll close with this. I don't know if any of you know this. I mentioned in his bio that he teaches Sunday school. And he taught a series for quite a while based off the Andy Griffith Show. I'm a huge Andy Griffith fan. He is a huge Andy Griffith fan. And I think I can say this as, and you will take it as I mean it, you are the closest thing to Andy Griffith that I've ever seen.
Not bad for a used car dealer. Speaking of Andrews, Alan, where did Alan go? Here we go, right here. Congratulations. Proud of an Andrewsian, native Andrewsian, and keeping the leadership alive. Thank you. Before I go farther, Walt, will you stand up? Walt Ackerman. If anyone in this room is interested in the job of administrator for Georgetown County, please stand up. What else can we do but laugh at this point? Again, congratulations on the 102 years to our chamber. And before I go farther, I was looking across the room, and I was up close to the front and couldn't see everyone. I'm getting a better view now, but I'm not going to call anyone out, but I'm going to ask, and I thought that you guys would have asked earlier, is anyone here that's had perfect attendance for all 102 years? Some of you are holding back, but on that same point, Bruce, what a great milestone for Georgetown Tyler's Health, 70 years. I'm going to tell you, my wife Kathy and I were each born in that facility during the first 5 years of your existence. I'm not going to say who was born first. And I'm sure there may be some in the audience that were born earlier than we were, but we were born, both of us were born within the first 5 years. And I have someone can attest to that because Dr. Harmon delivered both of them. Now, for some clarification, Ollie got a call from Julie to confirm our engagement this evening. And she asked the question, Ollie said, Julie called, and she wanted to know if you wanted to make any remarks. And I said, yeah, I want to make some remarks. So I need some clarity from Tom and Dr. Pringle. Did you two respond that you wanted to make remarks, or what you did was just kind of thanks, and I really have more time than that?
Take your time.
To that point, how much time do I have? Brian, I was kind of having second thoughts. I kind of like Dr. W to introduce me when he was going to. Let me say this. I did. I mean, without even thinking twice, I said, yeah, I want to make some remarks. Well, as time approached, I said, boy, I wish I'd have just answered no. And got up here and graciously accepted the award and thanked the chamber and thanked the board and thanked those that whatever the criteria was to present this award to me that I deeply appreciate and honor and treasure. But I said I would make some remarks. So as time passed, and many of you that know me, it doesn't matter whether I'm preparing for a council agenda or whether I'm preparing for a Sunday school lesson, I tend to put it off to the last minute. And I tend to rely on prayer to get me through. And most often, my prayers are answered right very close to the last minute. So last night, as I lay down to call it a day, I asked God to provide me with the message and the words that He would have me share with you this evening. Well, I didn't get that answer last night. I woke up early this morning. Those of you that know me, some of you get emails rather early. Some of you get calls, "Where's Ray?" Some of you get calls very early. But my day starts at 4 a.m. And this morning I woke up at 4 a.m. And I thank the Lord for giving me another day, giving me opportunities in the day. And by the way, Lord, have you got a message for me? Well, I heard silence. So I went about my routine, which starts with a trip to the kitchen and a bowl of Raisin Bran topped with banana. So I poured my bowl of cereal, sliced the banana, poured on the milk, and I'm sitting there still waiting for that answer. Have we got any members of staff in the room? Of the watches? I need witnesses. I brought my own spoon. I am not stealing the spoon when I leave the room. This is the spoon that I started my day this morning. You didn't say, did you tell me anything about I might tell a story? I sat there, and for some reason, I focused on that spoon. And a little voice inside of me was saying, focus on the spoon. And I looked at it, and I twisted it, and I turned it. And at some point, I held it in this position. I said, that looks like a person. And then I turned it over, and I said, that looks like an older person. But when I returned it to this position, and I heard that little voice saying, focus, focus. And the more I looked, I thought of the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks. For some reason, I have a Tom Hanks affection on movies, I guess. But I thought about Wilson. I thought about the soccer ball that was perched and placed on top of the mast. And I thought about how Tom Hanks had personified that soccer ball. And I said, well, what the heck does that mean? And I gave it some more thought. And I really couldn't make any sense of it. Well, the Raisin Bran was getting soggy. So I decided I'd go ahead and eat. So I bowed my head and I gave thanks for the meal that I was about to receive. And about that time, a more booming voice rang through my head that said, it's the people, dummy. It's people. And then I turned my thoughts back to the spoon. I turned my thoughts back to Wilson. And I said, why did he personify that soccer ball? It was because he couldn't survive without the encouragement, without the support, without the uplifting of his fellow man. And that's the only thing that got him through that whole ordeal that he went through. And I started to reflect on the people that I have encountered in my life. And I thought about what role they played in my life. And when I stand here tonight, I look at family, I look at my directors out here that have taken up more than one table. I look at my council members. I look around at every table here and think about the relationships that I've enjoyed with you people throughout the entire room. I don't think it's a table that I can't name one or more people that have been involved in some way in my life. And I thought about fate. Was it just coincidental fate that I crossed paths with all of these people? I don't think so. I don't think there's any question that God put me where He did at the time that He did to intersect paths with all of you tonight. And it was with me kicking and screaming and protesting that my mother made me go to school in Georgetown. Otherwise, I wouldn't have crossed the path of my little short wife back here. Sometimes I think, who that would have been? We're not saying that. I think about, there are many, many situations. The situation of my dad coming in after 34 years, he says, I'm not running again, you need to run. I said, I don't want to do that. He said, you need to run. Otherwise, I wouldn't have crossed paths with fellow council members, past administrators, delegation members, all of those people that came about because of that. And then ultimately, when I became administrator, that led to a whole nother set of friends and peers and opportunities and challenges that we've all battled through. Throughout this whole plan, and I know that what Ward tonight is given for leadership, and I reflected back on that, and I said, I never set out to be a leader. And I don't know, I've never read a textbook, I've never taken a course, I've gone through some leadership agendas much later after I was in the position that I'm currently in. But when I think back about the people that have influenced me and had influences on, first of all, my mother, who basically said, you'll know it if it's right. You know how it feels if you're doing the right thing. And my father, who taught me to, regardless of the circumstances, whether it's beneficial to you or if it's harmful to you, always be honest and always tell the truth. And back to my mother, always try to help someone. Anything you can do to help someone. And that's what I've carried out through my life and try to instill and share in my co-workers and my staff, is to say, if it's legally and ethically and morally right, try to help someone. Try to say yes. Try to do anything you can to help that person. And that's what has basically guided me, and I hope that would guide each of you. Now, Carl, I don't want to step over into your realm of ministry, but I'd feel remiss if I didn't share this with you. I am absolutely convinced that the words I've chosen tonight came from above. I am convinced that we're all here together to uplift, to support, and to encourage each other. Now, my challenge is that we extend that fellowship and brotherhood. I can tell you right now, Brendan, you know what we've been through. You know how powerful prayer has been to change the course of a hurricane, to get us through issues that were contentious on our respective city councils, county councils. And to that point, First of all, I want to share with each of you that some of the things we deal with that we think is the most important things in the world really aren't that important. That life is really short, and our time here is really short. And I'm convinced when we're no longer here, it's not going to be that important what color the building was on Highway 17, or whether it was 38 feet or 35 feet, or whether the setback was 20 feet or 90 feet. The important thing to me tonight is when I get to heaven, I want all of you to be there too. So to that point, I invite you to make the Lord and Savior your friend and to accept His free grace and salvation so we can all reunite at that time. I thank you, and I'm sorry I didn't have a prepared speech.